wanted to do that, I would already done that. And you know that I could do that, but I'm not trying to do that. And that's the one thing that you seem to always say, are you trying to ruin my relationship? Like, that's your one comeback to me. Are you trying to ruin my relationship and ruin my family? No, I'm not. I'm not. That's not my goal in life, is to hurt you the way you hurt me. That's not my goal in life. Number one. But the one time we did talk after the apology video, you said that me releasing your text betrayed you. Alright, those were the exact words you said. Me releasing the text betrayed you. Girl, you have no idea what betrayal is. For you to sit there and say that I betrayed you, if that's betrayal, wow. Anyway, alright. Done with the apology video. Said my piece on that. Didn't betray you. I just defended myself, and that's what I do. And the releasing of the text was me defending myself, defending that narrative. But for you to say I betrayed you, girl, you have no idea what betrayal is, because the stuff you did to me is terrible. Anyway. Alright. Apology video. I never talked about it until now, so I talked about it. Alright. Thank y'all for being Team Ryan. Thank y'all. Alright, moving on. Alright. I'm at 3.1 million likes. Thank you guys very much. Thank y'all. Whatever. My cousin just texted me. Anyway. Alright. Let's talk about, because there's so much that happened in the season. There's so much that happened. Okay. Now I'm on to the text that Gypsy released. Okay. Showing that I was threatening Aurora or whatever. Number one, those texts were an argument between me and Ken. Okay. Through Gypsy. Okay. We planned this whole meeting I was going to see Gypsy and the baby, and we were going to get a paternity test. We let Lifetime know we were going to do it on camera. And I even said, like, is this just for camera? And blah, blah, blah. And Gypsy said, no, I want to see you too. So I was like, okay, cool. Okay. You tell Ken shuts it down. Ken threatens you, gives you an ultimatum, all this, says, you can go meet Ryan, but he can't meet Aurora. Okay. Number one, at that moment, when he said that, Aurora had my last name. I was on the birth certificate, and I had not been tested yet. And you were sending me baby pictures. You were sending me this. You were sending me that. So, of course, I wanted to see you with your baby. I did. I wanted to see that reaction. And it's kind of like, you know, there was still that little chance because the baby was born early. And by the math, it could have been mine. It could have been. Like, I never said it was mine. But it could have been, and I had to make sure. Okay? All right. In the show, there's this thing where they're like, all Ryan has to do is drive over to the hospital. All he has to do is drive over to the hospital and sign it, and it could be a Blanchard. Okay? Number one, no ex-husband in their right mind would drive 3.5 hours there, 3.5 hours back, walk in the hospital with their tail between their legs, knowing that you were celebrating with your baby daddy and the family and everything. And I'm supposed to walk in there silently with my tail between my legs, sign the paperwork, knowing that you want to put Euchre, not Blanchard, Euchre on the birth certificate, so you can have the birth certificate. And you can be like, this is my birth certificate, my baby, da-da-da. You can show the world your birth certificate. No ex-husband in their right mind would do that. None. And I'm going to do a poll to prove that. Would you have gone to the hospital in my boat? Yes, red, yes, blue, no. Would you have? Honestly, to help Ken and Gypsy out. Not knowing if this was your baby yet or not. Right, keep that in mind. Was that the time when the baby was born? The math wasn't mathing. Math wasn't mathing at that time. Alright, so most people in here said no, they wouldn't do it either. Okay. Alright, so I felt justified in that because I even asked my mother that day, who I respect her opinion. My mother has been great. She has done everything for me in my life. You could call me a mama's boy all you want, but I mean, I'm a grown man and I love my mother. I was raised by my mother. I love her. And she has given me great advice over the years. And I asked her on that day, am I wrong for not driving over there? Am I wrong? Like, because I felt bad. Like, I'm a good person. I felt bad. And my mother said, no man in their right mind would drive that far to help a woman that did this to them. And I said, okay, cool. That's all I needed. All right. So I didn't do that. All right. In the show. All right. So going back to the meeting that we were supposed to have for paternity. Me and Gypsy were talking at that time. We were friendly. We were sending pictures, all this stuff. Y'all saw it in the show. I'm at work and I get a text like, hey, Ken doesn't want you to meet the baby. Ken's not going to let you see the baby. Okay. So I got angry at that because at that moment in my mind, all right, he did not have that right to say that I couldn't see the baby yet. Now, does he now? Absolutely. But at that moment in time, he didn't have that right. He didn't have that right. I know y'all are saying he did. There's some people saying he did. He really didn't. But I got angry that he was saying that in the first place because the baby is a baby. The baby would not have remembered me at all. I would not have hurt the baby. I wouldn't have done anything to hurt that baby. No, they had a paternity test that was done before the birth, and my lawyer said don't trust it, number one, especially after the day it was born. So y'all can, we put in the comments, y'all can rest that out. All right. So I got mad at him for saying that. And I was in a text, I argued like, if I wanted to see that baby right now, I could. Okay? That's what I was saying. If I wanted to see that baby right now, I would show up with the police right now and see that baby and have him in the corner and crying about it. Because there's nothing he could do to stop me if I wanted to do that. But I didn't. Actions speak louder than words. I didn't. I calmed down. That whole text was a matter of like 30 minutes. I calmed down. She didn't show what happened after. All right. She told me that Ken gave her the ultimatum, and I said, I'm sorry he did that, and I backed down right away because I said that is my goal is to never give you an ultimatum. So I apologize, but that was an argument between me and Ken. That had nothing to do with Gypsy, had nothing to do with the baby. That was an argument. Okay. So if y'all think that is a power trip or whatever, at that moment, I didn't know who the father was all the way. All right. And if y'all said I had no rights, I was on the birth certificate. The baby had my last name. I just wanted to see one reaction, one time with her and Gypsy. But he had a flip out moment and said I couldn't, and I got mad. I get angry. And I later apologized to Gypsy and said, I'm sorry, shouldn't have done it, lost my head for a minute. I'm human, okay? I'm human. I can only be honest about that. All right. And if you think I'm wrong, I apologize for that. Like, I learned from my mistakes. I'm a man. I can admit it. You know. and people said, how dare you not sign over that baby? All right, in the show, you saw I got tested. The moment I saw I was not the father, I signed over rights to that baby. The moment I found out. The moment I found out that that was not my baby 100%, I signed over rights to that baby because I didn't have rights to it. Like, that's fine. But Louisiana law stated, and Gypsy knew this at the time, that, Ken was mad that the baby had to have the last name Anderson. Well, you shouldn't have got a married woman pregnant. Number one. Shouldn't have got a married woman pregnant. You should not have come in between them. I can say whatever I want about the fact that you are a homewrecker because Gypsy was actively living with me. We were married. You used Gypsy's stepmom to weasel your way in. And you can sit there and say Gypsy was no, you knew she was living with me. You knew she was married. All right, so plain and simple, and Gypsy's guilty too. Don't think that she's not guilty. Like, guys, y'all think just because I don't say nothing about Gypsy doesn't mean I'm protecting her. Gypsy was guilty in that as well. But Christy opened the door that Ken was begging her to pry open, all right, but Gypsy walked through it. I'm not saying she didn't. I'm not defending her actions either. But it's the fact that as a man, I'm speaking on as a man, real men don't do shit like that. But that's another reason I don't like him. All right, there's many more, guys. I have so many more reasons why I do not like him. All right, so I was wrong in that. Y'all seen the text, but the moment Gypsy told me that Ken gave her an ultimatum, I backed down immediately because actions speak louder than words. And I had a moment where I was mad and that he would say that, knowing everything I've had to swallow, knowing everything that I've had to take in this whole situation, and I've taken it and have not fought back. I have not said anything, so I thought the one time that he would have to swallow something, he'd have to, because I've had to do it, but he shouldn't have got a married woman pregnant. Shouldn't have. Number one, shouldn't have done it. All right. So, sorry about and I'm tired of people saying I tried to kidnap her. I never would have done that. Number one, all right, so I mentioned the police to Gypsy. Y'all saw the police video, right? I'm not the one that shows up at people's houses unannounced with the police. I'm not. So I said that to her because she did that to me. So there's a reason why I said that. Like, if I wanted to, I would show up with the police right now because you've already done it. And I didn't tell nobody about that incident, and I wouldn't have. But y'all released that video. Why? Like, I'm civil in it. Okay. And then dude who released it sitting there going like, Brian's a liar. He's a fraud. He's a fraud. He has seen Gypsy. That's not visiting with somebody. That's not. And if you think that's a visit, then you're sadly mistaken. I have not had a one-on-one conversation with Gypsy since she left. So you can take that as me being a liar and me being that, but the police video made y'all look bad. And y'all thought it was going to make me look bad. But let me tell y'all something in that police video. All right. This was around the time they were saying I was abusive, okay? Her friend did that article for people saying, let me in, which didn't happen like that. And I wasn't abusive. Gypsy has later come out and said I wasn't abusive. So like that's false narrative had already been squashed. My lawyer put an end to that immediately because it was bullshit. And Gypsy knows because she even said in her apology video, I was her comfort. She could rely on me. I was her safe space. I was. So she knew I would never hurt her. So, all right. So at that time they were saying I was abusive. They show up with the police unannounced, and the sad part about that is me and Gypsy were talking that day. We were texting that day. She never once said, hey, I'll be over there later. Can you have stuff for me? Never once said that. I get off work, and then the first thing I hear about it is a knock on my door and it's the police. I'm like, yeah, you need something? And all right, so they did that. You hear me come out and be like, you didn't have to call the police. And Christy is sitting there filming it secretly. Number one, Christy is filming it secretly. They wanted me to have a reaction. They wanted me to flip out, have an angry moment, flip out, do something stupid so they could spin that narrative that I was abusive or whatever they were trying to do. That's all that was. And I didn't bite. Like, all right, what do you want? You want your pictures? Sure. Well, there's your pictures. Have a good one. And Gypsy later admitted to me that she didn't want to call the police. She didn't want to do that. Christy made her do that. Christy would not let her come up without the police, like refused. Even Mia thought this is a little much. Christy didn't realize that me and Gypsy were talking and we were friendly. You know, in fact, I said some sweet stuff to her that morning. But anyway, that's beside the point. Christy filming it told me everything I needed to know about her. Okay. Anyway, so I didn't even have to give her pictures, but I did. And you know why they wanted those pictures so bad? Because Christy found out from Melissa, her book, that the money is in the pictures. So they had to get those pictures. It had nothing to do with their book. Nothing. Because I had already given them all those pictures. The book was done as far as pictures. They wanted those pictures for the money. Period. That's why they had to get those pictures. Okay. So I gave them. Like, I wasn't going to say, whatever. Here's your pictures. But the book was done. Like, and you know what? I worked on that while Gypsy was in prison, and I went through all those photos. I did all of that. I did all of it. And I did it because I loved her. I would have done it. It didn't matter. Like, Gypsy knows that. Like, anyway. All right. So, and then they thought I was going to let them in with the police. No. Like, I told Gypsy later, like, I would, you know, anyway. I don't know. I didn't appreciate it. And, I love people calling me a liar. I'm not lying. Y'all already know I tell the truth. All right. But anyway, the police video made them look bad, and I don't know why they would release it a year later. I mean, trying to hurt me like they've been trying to do, and I don't understand because I don't try to hurt her. I don't. I really don't. It just bothers me that they do that. I don't understand. As much stuff as they have done to me, and for me to just sit there and take it, I've took it. But I'm going to defend myself. I don't get it. Christy didn't like me from the jump, and I don't know why, but she did not. She had to get rid of me, and she got rid of me. So, I mean, I have proof that I once texted Christy a year, okay? Like, you can look at the dates. I texted her a year before she ever responded back to me. I texted her and said, like, hey, I'm Gypsy's new boyfriend. I'd love to get with you and meet with you and, you know, talk about things. You know, I'm here for Gypsy. And she never responded to me till a year later. A year later. I get it, but, like, she probably looked at that and was like, look at this dude. So, you know, she really found out. She started texting me when she found out I was in when me and Gypsy were getting married, and like that's when she finally started texting me back. But that's whatever. Like that's to each his own. That's her. But she didn't like me from jump, and she got rid of me. And Gypsy told me that Christy did not like you after the fact. But whatever. But that's why they wanted the pictures. They had to have them. And Gypsy later told me like she didn't care about none of the stuff that I have. You know, doesn't matter. Keep it all. So, and I have proof of that. Y'all know I have proof of all that. Anyway, all right. So, back to the Aurora text. All right. Gypsy released those texts after the preview of the episode in the season where she told the world that I gave her an ultimatum, which I didn't give her. I just said, I'm sick of Ken, I'm not budging on this one, and he needs to back down. But he didn't, and I backed down because I'm not trying to cause Gypsy grief. But, you know, that's beside the point. But I did back down because I'm a good person, and she knows that. Anyway. Alright, I do have to apologize for something that I did, and I'm a man enough to admit I was wrong, and I do apologize if I hurt anybody's feelings. In those texts that Gypsy released, talking about me giving her an ultimatum, which I didn't give her, I lost my head, and I was like fighting with Ken. I was in those texts, I was fighting with Ken. She gave my phone number to a lot of TikTok creators and everything, gave my phone number away. And I was at school, and somebody texted me and said, hey, it's unfair that Gypsy's giving your number out to people, and I think it's not right. All right, it's not right. And my first thought was, no, she didn't do that. So I said, I need proof. And the person sent me proof. My number's right there, clear as day. Bam, bam. And I was like, wow, she really doxed me. So I text her and said, why would you do that? I have never done that to you, wouldn't have dreamed of it. Why did you do that to me? 2 seconds later, Ken texts me back. On her phone, texts me back and blatantly lied to my face. Said she didn't do that. So I got so mad that I said something I shouldn't have said. I used a word I shouldn't have used. And, you know, I'm not perfect, guys. I'm not. I said something stupid. I can admit to that. I apologize if I lost your respect or I hurt your feelings in any way. I apologize wholeheartedly. That was not directed toward a group of people. That was directed to one person. That was anger towards one person. And I apologize if me saying that to him hurt your feelings. Honestly, I am not that way. I apologize if I hurt your feelings. I really have. I've had people message me on TikTok and say, Ryan, we know you're not that way. We understand you were mad, and I was so angry that he just blatantly lied to me. The guy who stole my wife and got her pregnant a month later and all this. So, you know, I used a word I shouldn't have, and I apologize for it. I'm man enough to admit it. And I'm man enough to know not to do it again. I learned from my mistakes. So I apologize, and I'm man enough to know that I won't do that again. So if I lost your respect, I'm sorry. I can only hope to earn it back. And I will. If I hurt you in any way. And I will. My actions will show that. So that's all I want to say about it. But it hurt to know that they released that to TMZ. It hurt to know that the one time they had me in a negative light, they used it. The one time that they had me for something that they could ruin me for, they didn't hesitate. And the sad part is in the apology video, she said she wouldn't do it again. Wouldn't do it again, but then continues to try to ruin me. What did I do? I don't understand. Maybe I'm not supposed to understand. Maybe that's a smear campaign against me. I don't know. But that hurt. That really hurt. The medical information hurt the most. TMZ one was a low blow, but, you know, I can only apologize and move on. That's all I can do. So, I do apologize if I hurt anybody's feelings. And that's all I'm going to say on it. I can learn from my mistakes. So, if I lost your respect, I'm sorry. I'll get it back. Anyway, alright. I'm at 5 million likes. I appreciate that. Appreciate that so much. Okay. Let's take a picture of Pixie. Let's look at Pixie for a minute. Let me regroup. I've said a lot of stuff. I've said a lot of stuff. Pixie sleepy. Just so you know, I announced this live before I realized the Knicks Pacers were playing. So I am. I agree. My cousin just texted me. Yeah, I agree. No, before I knew the Knicks and Pacers were playing, so I'm missing a basketball game to tell y'all some stuff. So, it's what it is. All right. So, Season 2. But I do want to say the moment I did find out Aurora was not mine, I signed over rights. I just want y'all to know that. Okay? I want y'all to know Aurora's a sweet, innocent baby, and I would do nothing to hurt her. Let me tell y'all this. Ken dislikes me so much that he once told Gypsy that if they split up, Gypsy could not be with me or he would threaten to take Aurora away. Okay? That's how controlling he is. Okay? So, y'all just remember that. And that's one reason I don't like him. He has threatened custody over her so many times since Aurora's born. How old is Aurora? 5 months? Not even 6 months. So I do not like him for many reasons, but one of them is because he even told her, if they split up, you cannot be with Ryan or I will get sole custody. Like I don't like him for that. I don't like him for the fact that he calls her names. I don't like him for the fact that just his face. I don't like his face. And he called me a petty ass bitch on national television. Dude, you would not say that to my face. You would not say that to my face. Alright? We both know that you couldn't run away from me. Alright? We've seen the video. We both know you couldn't run away, but you would not say that to my face. So, that's all I'm going to say. It's funny, they released that text, but don't release when I basically took up for Gypsy to him that same day, like, block this, whatever, but they didn't release that text. No, because it showed me in a good light, and they couldn't do that. So, anyway, let's do a poll. Alright. Let's see. Y'all ready for me to put Amber J on here? Let's do a poll. Red, yes, blue, no. Let's have some fun. Let's have some fun. I've said a lot. Y'all can take it as y'all take it, but y'all know I've never not told the truth to y'all. Alright. Everybody's ready. Let's see, I talked for an hour about that. Let's have some fun for a minute. Alright. Amber J. Let me see if I can even find her. I don't even know where she's at. Let's see. Let's see if I can even find her.